Yo, what up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Blood Splatter Chatter. We're back after taking a week off. Back a week early. Actually, here tonight with the missing link. We're doing a 2026 double feature, talking Ready or Not 2. Here I Come. Had to double check the name because it's like, are they really that stupid to call it that? But yes, that is what it's called. But the Here I Come part doesn't bother me, but then don't do the part 2.
That's
It's
what I was
Ready or
gonna say.
Not 2. Here I
Ready
Come.
or not, here I come. That
You,
or just do ready or not too.
it's killing
Just
me.
yeah.
So that one directed by Radio Silence, obviously the follow up to Ready or Not, which I love. I love the original. We'll get into how I feel about the second one. I dug it. I'll just say it. I dug it. But and then Send Help from Sam Raimi, which came out at the end of January, and it got a lot of buzz. I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I'll just say right now, I really like that too, man. They both are going to be interesting conversations. So I'm debating on which one to get into first. But what up, man? First of all, how are you doing, my brother, the missing link?
Doing good, man. Happy to be here. Back a week early. Prepping for spring with the king.
Yeah,
Uh,
baby. Yeah. Yeah,
but
good shout out. That is what we're doing. We're gonna start in April. We're doing 5 weeks straight of Stephen King movies. So we don't have them all announced just yet. I don't even know exactly what we're doing next week, but we're doing it, and I'm excited about it. It's something I've been wanting to do forever.
you know what would be fun to do though? Like the five. Well, it's not like we're gonna do the five best. We're gonna do a variety, but like the five shit king movies, like Storm
Right.
of the Century. No, I'm just kidding. But like Dark Tower probably up there, even though that here's like a really cool book series. That movie was bastardized.
I'm
It
trying to think. I think on that list, right off the top of my head, would be Thinner, which is a movie that I used to actually really like when I was like a kid.
Maximum Overdrive.
Maximum Overdrive, which we already did, and I think like the Langoliers gets thrown in there. You ever seen that?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it. I've
It's
heard
a
it.
weird one. I mean, there's so many bad movies back in the day that I used to enjoy. Sleepwalkers is one that like Fable used to mention that all the time. I
Is
don't
that
know
the
if
one
I've
with
ever
cat
seen it.
people? I,
Yes.
I seen that as a kid and it always fucked me up because it had that dun, 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 dun. At the very. It was very creepy to me. I love that song, the Fugees, whatever. I don't know who did the OG, but
Hmm.
yeah, that'd be one worth it. I don't know, but I used to love Pumpkinhead as a kid. I could see that one turning out like a Pumpkinhead, where it's like
Right.
Pumpkinhead's not perfect, but it's still there's a fineness there for me.
And I mean, it's one of those that like, if you told me like, oh no, Pumpkinhead's a Stephen King, I'd be like, oh okay, yeah, oh yeah, I
Right,
knew that. Like
right,
it seems like it would be.
yeah.
But I will say before we get into, let's start with Ready or Not 2. Before we get into that, 1408 is the missing links pick for Spring with King. So we're definitely doing that, which is a great pick. One I've wanted to do for a long time. I think 2008, maybe. John
I
Cusack.
seven. eBay close. Yeah, it's around there.
Okay, and then Stu picked The Dead Zone, which is another great pick. Have you seen that?
Is that the one with Christopher Walken?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
It's Christopher Walken before he really became like before he started really laying into the voice. He didn't really do that cadence all the time in movies before that, or at a certain point. Before a certain point. But all right, as we both take a simultaneous sips, let's get into it, man. So Ready or Not 2. I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't go to the theater and saw it. We still got the new baby. I said fuck it, and I pirated this thing. I checked to see like, is it out there? It is out there. You and I probably watched the same copy, and I'm just gonna say off rip, it's not even worth saying. Maybe a lot of you probably went to the theater and saw it, but I think even just watching the copy that I watched, it started out really good, but it was an issue. Like I'm sure we watched the same one where it kept on going blurry and not blurry, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit, it looks so good at the beginning. That probably threw off my enjoyment of it a little bit on the first watch. For those that haven't seen it, it picks up right where the first one left off. They had Kathryn Newton to the cast, who was Ant-Man's kid in Quantumania. She's the girl from Freaky, the lead in Freaky, beside Vince Vaughn, the female lead in Freaky. It picks up right where the last one left off. And I thought it was a great idea for a sequel, or a great, idea, or just like a reason to have a sequel. It's kind of perfect, man. Like, okay, they didn't kill the bride. Spoiler. And by the way, just spoiler alert for this movie in general, and both these movies, Send Help and this one, because that's how we do it. They didn't kill the bride in the first one, so something goes into effect where all these extended people and other families that are part of the same satanic cult, I guess you would call it, now they have to kill her. in order to get this seat, and they're like the leader of this satanic cult. Basically, they're this right hand man to Satan. So, in my opinion, or did you think of John Wick 2 at all while watching it? Because that to me, that's really like what they
Follows the
do,
beat. Yeah, like it's
right?
kind of picks up directly after, and it's just like kind of like shit that was briefly mentioned in the first movie is expanded upon thoroughly in this one.
Exactly,
Yeah, the
and it's the same.
mythology.
Like John Wick 2, well, it doesn't end that way. You don't know that this is going to happen like you do at the end of John Wick 1.
Right.
But yeah, in John Wick 2, now all of a sudden there's an extended group of people that are after him. They're not in like a one location. Everyone in the world is trying to get this guy. Same with her. And they're out of the house and they're out running around, and you learn way more about the organization that they're a part of, and you get deeper into that, which is cool.
That's what made me think of John Wick, though, was the fucking the council or whatever, the head of the chair or whatever, you know,
right?
The headmaster.
For
I
sure.
forget what it was called.
Thank you, my brother. Says, what up, fellas? Haven't seen either of these films, but such high hopes for them both. Ready or Not One is one of my favorites from the past decade or so. Okay, I was just telling Link ahead of time that I didn't think that maybe you had seen it. So hell yeah, dude. Same, dude. What else did I want to say before I get into it? I guess that's it. It's directed by Radio Silence. Let's do that real quick. Radio Silence. They're an interesting like duo. What are their names, man? I do this every time that we ever talk about them. Tyler Gillette, Tyler Gillette, and Matt Benatelli open, and they've done at this point. They've done Ready or Not 2. They did Abigail, and they did Scream 5 and 6.
Two Scream,
which now that Scream 7 has come out, they did two masterpieces. We find out later on, two masterpieces in the Scream franchise. I'm trying to think of what else they've done outside of their what they did in the first VHS, which I think they had the opening skit in the first VHS was them. I'm pretty damn
that sure. Might be it, to be honest, because it gets like they kind of got, it was like a knocked it out of the park with Ready or Not 1, I think, because that kind of puts, that's when like Samara Weaving, she was in shit before, but I feel like that's what put her on the map as where she's been at for the last like 6-7 years.
Definitely.
So with that, I could see them being like, they were newer directors, and it's like, hey, they took this idea and made a bunch of money off of it. They probably pitched a really cool Scream revision or something like that, or the studio came to them, asked them what they would do with it. And sometimes they get lucky like that. I don't think these guys have done too much. I think they really got lucky with
As I'm looking at it, yeah, there's Devil's Due.
Oh, okay. What is that, like 2016?
2014, yeah. Devil's Due, Southbound, which is another anthology film that they were part of. Phobias, another anthology. Okay, so they've done a bunch of anthology films. They're producers on the VHS movies, so that comes up in their filmography and all that. But yeah, as far as standalones, it's Abigail, Scream 5 and 6, Ready or Not 1 and 2. And I think they've carved out a pretty decent little career for themselves so far.
Yeah.
Like, I would say I'm a fan of them. They do have like a unique, all their movies are they're less horror, more thriller action.
Yeah.
Right? They're like gory thriller action movies, including Abigail in that. And they definitely lean on the humor. They like a female lead. You know what? I was thinking, I was mixing them up with Freaky. It's Christopher Landon that did Freaky, right?
Yes, the drop. Yeah. They got a similar. Who did Hard Eyes?
The different guy. I can't think of his name. It was the guy that did that. Oh God, I feel like I'm all over the place. That werewolf movie with the black dude that played the cop.
Oh, Werewolves Within. Okay.
Werewolves Within. Okay. Yeah. Whoever that guy is.
I could see them having fun with something like Hard Eyes. I mean, yes.
Yeah, got to Scream 7 like Voldemort's name. Scream what? But what did you think overall? Real quick, it was at first it was a little bit harder for me to get into because you're introducing a lot of characters. In the first one, it's all in one house. It's pretty simple. You got these family members. You can tell who everyone is. The first time, I'm a little bit like overwhelmed almost by the amount of characters and the world building that they're giving me. But by the end of it, I really would say I enjoyed it. And then I've watched it again today, and I enjoyed it a lot more. It's still super funny. Yeah. They double down on the action, the gore. It's not the first one. It's not like a perfect movie almost like I think the first one is. But I don't really have too many issues with the movie at the same time. It's super funny, super gory, and a ton of fun. What'd you think?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I enjoyed it overall, but I think it suffers from a little bit of sequelitis. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't really exactly pinpoint just yet, like my grievance with it, but it's because it's like you had a big cast of characters in the first one, you had a big cast of characters in this one. But I don't connect with anybody in this one really beyond Samara and her sister. Um,
Like
and
I'm
I don't
hearing
know. There's like, am I freezing?
you fuck.
Am I froze?
I'm seeing Link is gone on. If you're let me know. Let me.
I'm gonna come back.
There's a crazy storm. There's a storm cooking up here. Whoa. Okay, yeah. We're both in the Midwest, so evidently cooking up over his way. But I will just again kind of get deeper into my thoughts on it. Samara Weaving is a revelation. She's so good in all the movies up to this, and she's just as good in this one. I think she's just as funny. She's got her trademark scream that she's doing. What up?
Yo.
Can we hear you?
Yeah,
You look great.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you could hear me. Right as you were starting to go out, there's fucking lightning and thunder going on here, and it's cooking up. So I thought it was me. You got a storm going on there?
No. We might, because it's the weather was quite storm atmosphere earlier, very humid. But no, yeah, this one, man, the first one, it reminded me of like Knives Out. That whole fucking family that doesn't like each other, kind of vying for power in a weird way. And then Samara, I don't know. This one, I think tried to put too much emphasis on the mythology of the council and the dude who's the ghost that runs all the shit. And I just don't, I don't know if it was. That's what it's not what I really wanted in a Red or Not movie. But overall, I think that's my only like grievance. But I think it's a good time. It's a slight down from the first one, but it's still a great time. Sometimes you just need these fun movies. You go have a good few laughs. Some deep. I feel like even the kills bothered me a little bit in this one, to be honest, compared to the first one. I just felt like there was so much originality in the first one.
Yeah.
This one screamed cash grab in a lot of ways. It's like, I don't know, radio side to me, we're looking at Radio Silence. They got kicked off the screen. So it's like, shit, man, what do we pivot to real quick? Oh, let's go to the movie that kind of put us on fire. Let's get a sequel.
They quit Scream in defense of them. They quit before all that shit went down to do
creative differences.
I think they just quit. Maybe it was, but the reason that I heard is they quit to go do Abigail. But I'm honestly not sure. That's a good point because they were rolling. Okay. It would seem like there would be something else other than doing another movie. But yeah, I don't know.
This is like, it seems like a safe way to keep the name out. Then it's like, guys, get the return. They're probably gonna. I don't know what the box office is on this yet, but I'm assuming it's probably not going to be anywhere near the first. No movie is after pandemic, but
I would like to know though. Yeah,
it's good. It's worth seeing. Just I don't know. I felt like the rapport between the cast and the first one was so much like the chit chat back and forth.
This is kind of what I'm saying. Like the dynamic of the original one. You have Samara Weaving, and she's the one person that doesn't know everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody else is family members, and like they're close and they know each other. And that created like this different, that kind of dynamic that you had in the original one. And in this one, they wanted to keep the family thing. So they add a sister. This is what I'm feeling. They add the sister, and then they have Sarah Michelle Gellar and old boy from the faculty.
Sean Hotze, however you say his name.
That's why I said that, because I'm like, I don't know how the fuck to say this guy's name. But yeah, which had, added more family dynamics in it. But anyway, there's all these different families that are part of it. And I think that was part of my, like, it was harder to enjoy on the first watch, partially because it's just not knowing exactly how everyone relates. I enjoyed it a lot more on the second watch because of that exact thing. It's like, oh, okay. this, for those that haven't seen the movie, what ends up happening, it's a lot like Hunger Games, where it's like, okay, everyone's here, and you got to get to the prize in the middle. Everybody run. But in this one, like, they kidnap Samara Weaving and her sister, and they're the prize in the middle. Everyone's running after them. You've got this certain amount of people that are all vying for this top spot, and then their extended family is in a view or observation room watching everything. So, like, there's a disconnect there. But honestly, like I said, like that shit was actually really funny. Like, the characters in that room were funny to me the second time, a lot more.
I wish certain characters I wish we spent more time with, or like they would have expanded upon. Even though that's not the goal of the movie, but
right,
I wish, like, the dude who was he just kind of reliant on his brother, who at the very end was like, yeah, I renounced, and he fucking
right.
But he was a good character. I wish they kind of would expand upon the little kid. He's a creepy little kid in a cult. Like, do something with that.
That's the problem with this kind of thing. You want to have all these characters, but it's a comedy first and foremost. So, like, they don't feel the need to really, like, how much time do we want to spend on any of if you spend one, you got to spend it on all of them, and then it's like too fucking much, which is, it's an issue. I looked at something me and my wife like to do. I've brought this up before, but we'll watch a movie and then I'll be like, guess the Rotten Tomatoes score. Like, and her guess was like 85. She enjoyed it quite a bit, and I enjoyed it a lot. But my guess was 73%, and it's a 75% on Rotten Tomato, which makes me want to look at what was the OG. What was the OG? I have a feeling it was like
OG had to be in like the high 80s and 90s,
right?
Maybe.
Oh shit! It wants to come up with. I think it was pretty high.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Again, I always have to say, like, not that that's the end all be all, but it is a strong indicator. 89% on Rotten Tomato for the original. Now, this is interesting. 6.9 IMDb for the original, 7 IMDb for the second one. I have a feeling, and honestly, like, I think John Wick 2 was the same thing for me. I'm going to keep comparing it to that. When I watched John Wick 2, I was like, oh, that was dope. A lot of fucking kicking it and shooting and shit. But I didn't like it nearly as much. And then when I watched it again, I really fell in love with it because it's exactly that. It's way bigger, way more characters, a lot going on. And I have a feeling like this will be a movie that will get better on multiple viewings. In my opinion, I don't know about you, but I think comedies are always better on a second watch.
Yeah, you're able to notice nuances and subtle things, because it's like you're taking everything in the first one. That actually, I only got to watch this one once, but I watched Send Help twice. So that
vice versa for me.
Okay. But no, yeah, so I'll give it that. Like, I'm trying to take into the mythology they're laying out, and really that's not the focus. They're just trying to give you bits and pieces. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, is this like overall? That's just how my mind works. But yeah, like, it's a comedy horror, and it does excel in that. There's some cool moments, like some cool camera work going on at the beginning, like the very beginning when she like fucking passes out, and like got like the waist camera, and it's like you seeing them like lift her and fucking. That was all cool. There's some cool shots.
The whole time that's going on, because they're like, we're losing her. Get the defibrillator. There's after. Like, she's got no pulse. My wife is a nurse, so anytime anything like that's going on in a movie, that's bullshit. She's like, they don't use a defibrillator if you've got a weak pulse. Or no, they're like, she's got no pulse, and then they shock her. Evidently, you only shock someone if they have an irregular or weak pulse. Once they've lost the pulse, you can't like bring it back. Evidently. That's what she said. There's like 3 or 4 things in that scene where she's like, "That's bullshit." They would have checked her vitals before they put her in the ambulance. All that. But you know what I liked about it was, remember how the first one ends? They're like, "What happened to you?" In-laws. Boom, and it ends. This one, it's like in-laws, and it's like just from a different perspective that I just thought was cool. You're hearing other shit, and then just like hearing what happened right after that. But what did you think of Buffy? What did you think of Sarah Michelle Gellar and oh boy from The Faculty? I'm gonna learn how to pronounce his name before this show's over.
Same, bro. Hatasi or some shit. Hatasi.
Sean Hatosi.
Hatosi. That's what. Yeah, Hatosis.
He's in a new hot show, The Pit. I think it's called. It's like a medical show. My wife's been watching it.
Okay.
He's in that. I think he's fucking like scary in this. He makes a good like mean guy. But what do you think of that?
He always fucked me up in the faculty, bro. Just because it's like his turn he was like, I don't know, that he plays a good, he can play a good guy. He can play a very menacing dude at the same time, and he plays that well in this film. I think that he played up to that. I enjoyed them actually. I think they had I wish see, that's the thing. It's like I would have liked to see their relationship expanded upon more. Like the movie was trying to bounce the parallels of their relationship and like, Samara Weaving and what's her face, and I gotta rewatch it for a second time to like pick up on that stuff. But I don't know if it was really, I don't know what to take away from it at the end of it. Like Sarah Michelle Gellar tried to stay in her brother's life and help, and her brother, it was bad because of that. And then Samara Weaving dipped and fucking came. I don't know. I'm trying to.
Which how funny is it? Because they didn't write, or maybe they did write this. Radio Silence. They didn't write Scream 5 though, and that's the same dynamic that Sam and Tara have in Scream 5. You left me. Which, by the way, while I'm thinking of it, do you remember when we did Abigail? We pointed out like, oh shit, what is it at the end of the movie? She puts like a sucker in her mouth. She's got like a candy fixation or something in Abigail, right?
To smoke or some shit.
No, that's Ready or Not. In Ready or Not, she puts a cigarette in her mouth at the very end. She's like, she's covered in blood. She puts a cigarette in her mouth. And
wasn't she like a recovering drug addict or some shit?
And that's like her oral fixation.
Yeah.
In Abigail. So anyway, I think it's a sucker that she puts in her mouth at the end, and that's like a parallel there. At the end of this one, they go and they grab some cigarettes, and the sister grabs a sucker, or she grabs some candy. There's a sucker there, but I felt like that was a cool little nod. Like,
I can see that.
The candy and the cigarette in this one. But I'm curious about the other parallels that there are, because there was so many between Abigail and Ready or Not 1. I would really like to like dive deep and to see like how many little nods were there.
How did you like the sister? Like, I usually like her. I didn't hate her in this, but I don't know. She didn't. I don't know. Like, she was there, but I don't know. If she,
I thought she was good. She had, because of what we're saying, I think we're both in agreement. Like, the major problem with this is there's too much shit going on.
Yeah.
Because everyone needed a little bit more. You needed to cut out a little bit or make this 2 hours and 15 minutes long. It's just, I don't know. I don't know the proper way to attack it. But I think it was good. The emotional shit between those two, it hit better for me on a second watch, which I'll say a lot. Like, it didn't seem as, I don't know. They do a lot of that. Radio Silence does. The sisters going back and forth, and they'll have their little like soap opera melodrama type moments. I thought it was pretty good in this one.
And this one, because of the context of the situation they were in, I was like, all right, bitch, save your grievances for when it's safe. You guys are trying to, like, in the middle of being hunted down and, like, you left me type. Like, it's jokey to punch up the script and shit, like, lighten the mood and shit, but it's like, I don't, that.
Right. It's like every action movie ever, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What
was worse for me is when Titus, Sean Hoddesy, he's slamming. He's like, your sister left you. It's like, you care too? You're like, he keeps bringing up that shit. That to me was really forced.
That's right. Yes, we kept trying to drive that relationship or that strain between the relationship home, but we never really, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't keep mentioning it if you're not going to really explore that or like give us, it was. I get that they're trying to give you an emotional anchor, but we don't need that in this movie. This is not that type of movie. Just we fucked up, but you're my sister. I'll have your back. You don't gotta. I don't know. They kept trying to have this emotional pull, and I don't think it was necessary. Just like you said, that they went out their way throughout the script to kind of like have, even Shauna Hoyt's character mentions that shit. But that's, like you said, first watch, maybe the second watch I'll be able to just enjoy.
I can see it, even being able to watch the thing like in a better quality, you know what I mean, if it comes to streaming. I think that would improve the experience more. Whatever Evan's saying, Guy Busick, I think that's how you say it. I hear that name all the time. So yeah, he wrote this. He literally wrote all of Radio Silence's movies. He wrote Final Destination Bloodlines, and he wrote some other movie that I can't make that out.
Damn, he wrote Scream 7. That's fucking me up because I liked Bloodlines, but Scream 7, those scripts,
He must have wrote it with Kevin Williamson because I'm pretty
Yeah.
fucking sure Kevin Williamson wrote the thing. I think it was his, right? Is he not the lead writer on that movie?
I thought he was a
Maybe he's
writer
not.
and director, but it could have just been first time directing. They're like too much responsibility for you, man.
Maybe.
Unless he meant like Scream 5 or 6.
Well, I don't know. God, it's storming like a bitch here, man. There was one earlier that like legit scared the shit out of me. Written by Williamson and Guy Busey again. That makes sense. They wrote it together. What else did I want to get into? We talked Buffy. We talked
well, you know what?
Titus and Ursula. Yeah, what do you think about, because she doesn't do much, Sarah Michelle Gellar. I don't think she's a great actress, but I love her. She's one of those people, right? Yes. We just love her because she's Buffy and she's been in a bunch of cool shit. But she's never been like a great actress. But I think she's serviceable into this. Like, I spent half my time just looking at her, being like, "Wow, that's what she looks like now." Yeah, like, yeah, it's just like you haven't seen her in a while. I'm like studying her face and shit. But I liked her in it. I thought she was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I think she, you know, I've only ever seen her play like, you know, the good girl to an extent. Like, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Buffy, or like some shit like Wild Things, or, you know, where she's like this cold-hearted, or Cruel Intentions.
Yeah, yeah. The other boner fuel from the 90s. I
love those two. But she played it. I think they've got both Sean and her played up to the type that they're kind of known for. Even Elijah Wood, you know, he's he, you know, lately with his later half of his film career has kind of been kind of more eccentric roles.
Yeah, I thought he was good at it too.
Yeah,
I think he was really solid.
The dude at the beginning, he's a great actor. Fucking the dude that attacked him at the hospital.
Right.
Kevin Durant or some shit.
The Blob, right?
Yeah. But, you know, it was cool to see that little Kevin. You know, they got actors to play even though it was brief, they played it very well.
Right. I was surprised he went so quick. He was in Abigail too. Yeah, Kevin Durant. Mm-hmm. He's got a weird. He looks like fucking Elon Musk to me. Not in this one, but sometimes he looks like Jack Elon Musk. Dude, did you know who their dad was? Chester Danforth. Sarah Michelle Gellar and Sean Honessy's dad was David Cronenberg, who director of The Fly.
No, it was not.
Yeah, that's Cronenberg. He does acting. He's at the beginning. He's in a bunch of random movies. I just watched Jason X, and he's at the beginning of that. He's like the professor guy in Jason.
Wow.
X. He's always done random roles.
Bro,
what up? What's cracking, brother?
They kind of lingered on him for a while. I was like, he's distinguished looking.
Yeah, he does have. I kept looking. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen him. He's older than I'm used to seeing him.
Yeah.
I ended up like, it's one of those things. I didn't want to Google it during the movie because I don't want to see the Rotten Tomatoes score. I don't want to come across that during a movie because it'll influence me. It'll make me watch the movie in a way that I don't want to watch it.
And you're like looking out for shit. Like, I can see why this is a 69%.
Right, exactly. Or the other way, you'll start fighting 100%. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Some funny moments, man. The one kid on the iPad, one of the funniest scenes to me was like, there's all this. First of all, he gets there. What's the Wi-Fi password? Like that was a funny line that really got me. And then like there's all this serious shit going on. And he's in the background, blurred out in the background the whole time. He's just there. And like it's a really intense moment. All of a sudden, like, fuck yeah! Like whatever he's playing on his game, he got to. He's like, oh, so that was funny shit to me.
Where I was playing a game and I done something, bro, and I startled the people around me. I was there. I was like, I'm sorry, you don't understand what I just did. It was incredible.
You had to be there.
You had to be there. But favorite for me, it was the dude who was like the fucking pothead who was trying to send his brother in. Where he just had a lot of little moments, like even at the end with the wedding, where he's like, they kept cutting to him because his little ad-libs were hilarious, and he's like, what's going on? I can't see shit, you know?
Right.
He's like in the robes, and he's like, there's behind a bunch of people, but he's always bitching about something, but he was hilarious.
He was funny. He reminded me of what are the guys on It's Always Sunny that wear the robes? The brothers.
The
McPoyle. McPoyle, yeah. Yeah. He reminded me of one. I remember.
You know who reminded me of the dude who kept Oh no, I'm talking about the dude at the very end. Remember he ran up and he was like,
Oh, the guy
but
that gets
that
he's
dude was
eating the ice
hilarious too.
cream.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, he
yeah,
was funny. The guy that blows up, but no, yeah, the guy in the bathrobe when
yes,
he
he
does
was
the
hilarious.
dick tap. I
Yeah,
ended up
yeah,
you see when he's texting, he's going to text Titus, which is Buffy's brother. He's going to text him, "Hey, they're on the third hole." You know what I'm talking about? And Elijah Wood
yeah.
walks up and says, "Are you sure you want to do that?"
Mhm.
Like I paused it there, and you can read through his text messages. Like, hey, bro, why are you ignoring me? How's your dick feel? He's asking her how his dick feels. You need some ice for that and shit like that from the dick tap. But he was trying. I'm trying to think of other just funny moments when the girl walks in. They have this like extended fight. I think it's her fiance from the last one or her husband. I think Alex,
Mhm.
his ex fiance or whatever. I think it's them. They have this extended fight and it's intercut between Kathryn Newton and Titus having a fight. You know what I'm talking about? They're editing and they're
Mhm.
going back and forth. I think it's after that. And finally, when Samara Weaving, she like smashes her across the face with a keyboard and then just does her scream. Like does her scream at her. That was funny as shit.
Fucking the rocket launcher bit was funny. I thought that
Yeah,
was. I was like, okay,
that
because I was
was
like,
good.
how's she gonna fucking get out of this one, bro? Like what John McClane shit, the guy she's, but no, she was just an idiot villain, so it worked out.
The only joke that I wrote, I wish I would have honestly on the second watch just wrote more of the funny shit down. But the one thing I did write down, the guy in the robe, they're watching it. It's another one of the people in the observation room. It's his dad, I think, is shooting him with a sniper rifle. The guy from Lost. He's in a million things, but I know him as like
Yeah, yeah,
the
the dark,
lawyer almost from
yeah,
Lost. Yeah. But
aide.
he's shooting, he keeps missing. He chimes in, "Your dad fucking sucks." Like that cracked me up. That was probably like the hardest I laughed on the whole movie. Okay, let's talk quickly and then we can move on to Sen Hope. The ending, dude. The ending. So they find a loophole, right, where we can stop this thing if you marry one of these people. So they set that up. Samara Weaving is gonna marry Titus, the lead bad guy. They do the wedding. And I keep on thinking that they're first of all, I think she's just gonna take the lead. They do the wedding, she stabs the shit out of her. All of a sudden, she's got the ring and she's the leader of all of this. And she says, "Get on your knees." And for me, I think it would have been cool if it just cut to black right there. I would have added a fucking "get on your fucking knees" and it just cuts to black. And people would have been like, damn, they would have wanted a sequel and probably
Yes.
shouldn't have done a sequel. Remind me before we get out of here to talk about the prequel. I'm gonna write it down right now.
Okay.
There's a prequel that I think could fucking happen. But I love that. I thought that was super violent. That's another funny moment. She stabbed the shit out of her, and Kathryn Newton says, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah, everyone.
That was funny. But what do you think about like her giving it up and like the direction that they went with that, or the ending in general?
So I thought like the whole all that the wedding bit was cool and everything, but I agree with you. I feel like it should have ended with like a cut after she said because she's intense, she's like get
Mm-hmm.
on your fucking knees, and it should have just cut to black. But they kind of like they said it like okay, so when they ganked old dude, then Kathryn Newton kicked him into the pit. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I was starting, I was like, she's not gonna do it. But then I wasn't sure. But when I knew she wasn't gonna do it, she's like, so they'll pretty much do anything, huh? And starts looking at the ring. I was like, oh, okay, she's throwing it in the fucking pit, and they're. It kind of was very telegraphed in a sense, by at a certain point. But I don't know. I I don't know. I don't know why the need for like the ending we had, like it's so wrapped up in a nice bow. I
Right.
feel like if we would have just ended the way you described, it would have still been a victory, but left room open for okay if we
Right.
want to
They
make us.
wanted to do the Hollywood
They
thing where they
would. They
tie
really
things
would.
up. They had to have a talk. They had to say that I'm not going to leave you ever again. Yeah, they should have just ended it. Before we go too far, I want this prequel idea.
Okay.
At one point, do you remember they're having Buffy and Titus? Their names are Ursula and Titus in the movie, so I should call them that. But anyway, Buffy and Titus. he's like, when was the last time that the full council convened or whatever they are? Council, I think, is the terminology.
Mhm.
She says October 1963, which first of all, 11/23/63. So I think that's a month before. I think that's a month before JFK was assassinated. I think so.
I think that is the month.
JFK assassinated.
Isn't there like a show with like a 11/22?
Yeah, yeah. Do I have that right? 11/22/63. So yeah, a month. Yeah, that's something to think about. It's a month before the JFK assassination. Didn't
Ah,
didn't come into play. But the other thing is that would be a cool idea because I feel like they have wrapped this up in a nice bow. Everyone's dead. It's over. They killed all the people at the end. Spoiler alert! Like everyone blew up and like it's over. Kind of that cult or whatever it was. So that would be a cool way to go back and like if you ever wanted to do another one, set it, make it on Halloween night, 1963 in October, and that would be a one way to go about doing it, which would be pretty badass. I would be up for it.
yeah. I'm trying to like. You could go a lot of different ways. Even like to tie in like to the JFK in some sort of way.
That'd be
If
awesome.
like yeah, like was he a part of it or was he a victim of it or something like that, like a
Hmm.
victim of one of their games? Um, yeah, no, that'd be kind of cool. And the older I get, the more I find like period pieces more appealing. Like so that'd
Hmm.
be a fun if they they could take that vibe, the vibe that they have with Ready or Not, and inject that into like a '60s piece. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be cool. I'm trying to think if I got anything else on this. I don't think I do. I mean, probably do. There's a bunch of funny shit that happened, but I feel like we've said our fucking piece. So let's go ahead. Go ahead and fire off. What's your grade? Ready or Not two? Here I come. Let's grade the title first. And then we'll move on. No, what are you giving it out of five? You guys in the chat, if you
Um, I'm gonna give it 3 points. Damn it, man. I try to stay off of them, but 3.75. It's it's almost on the it's like the first one is like a 4.5 for me. It's
Mhm.
a very solid movie. This one, it's almost there. It's almost there, but it does suffer from, unfortunately, from being a sequel.
Right.
They want to keep it what it is, but make the world bigger at the same time. And sometimes doing that, it kind of clashes. They clash against each other. And now I'll admit that I will. I gotta stop doing this with movies I love because, like, I was. Sometimes you're expect like I was really excited for the sequel, man.
Same.
So I was expecting it to be like a 5 or something, but yeah, it was a solid. It's a solid movie. It's definitely worth going to see, and it's just a fun experience. So 3.75.
It's weird. Like if I wonder what we would think of this movie if we'd never seen Ready or Not, because they do kind of like summarize it, like tell you what happened. If you just threw this on, and you'd never seen it. I almost feel like it might be easier to like because you don't have that other one, that like perfect little
Bringing,
movie to compare it to.
yeah,
It's tough for me. I'm gonna give it a 4. Like I said, I think it's a movie that's gonna grow on you. The more that I watch it, the more I'm gonna appreciate those little characters. Because like you think about a movie like Friday, like Smokey out here taking a shit. I ain't gonna tell nobody else. That guy wasn't developed. That little crackhead guy. You know what I mean? Like
right,
we don't
right.
give a fuck, but he was funny for a second when he was in the movie. And in a comedy, like that's all you're asking for.
But
Just
that
be
was
funny
the
for a second.
comedy aimed to be a comedy, so they got every moment is set up for bits, and this one is trying to
Do
do other
something more.
shit.
Well, no, you think about Friday, like it's also like a hit him Craig. Like at the end of the movie, there's some heart to it. They're
There's
trying to get like dramatic at times.
but
But you're right, they're doing it more
there's
so in this one. It's
there's
different.
more room to expand upon that. Where this one, it's like, okay, we have to have action beat. We got to make sure it's got a horror vibe. We got to make sure that there's certain beats that got to hit in this one. There's a more of a balancing act, I'd say.
Right. You're right.
Sometimes,
You're right. There's more that they're it's not the same thing. It's not like a pure silly comedy, but it still is a comedy. Like
yeah,
I would
yeah.
almost say it's a comedy, it's an action. It's not really a horror movie. It gets lumped into horror movies because of the
Yeah,
gore and the
first one more
explosion.
so, I would say, is this one
Right. You feel like
kind
they
of,
crank the action up more on this?
yes, yeah.
Right. And like the brutality. Like I really thought like especially with Titus's character, like when he's slamming Kathryn Newton around, like the sound, like there was like it was just like really fucking brutal. Like I can't emphasize enough how good I think he was as a villain. I thought he was.
She had to put on that fucking dress. That I was like, ew. That
Yeah, what'd you think about that? I was like, come on.
I was like,
She's
stay
like,
in the
I can't
gown.
fight in this gown. I gotta
What's
put
the
my
difference?
crusty day old bloody dress in that I wore on the worst day of my life. That was, but whatever. I guess if you got to get her back in it, I would have just not taken her out of it. You know what I mean? Just leave her in the gown. Nobody's gonna be like, why didn't they get her out of the gown? She's laying in the hospital bed. It's like, because they didn't get there yet. Like you could have done that, or you could have had the way the movie. I thought the movie was gonna happen. I just was assuming was that all these families were just gonna show up right then and there.
Pick her up from there, yeah.
It could be a couple hours later, like her sister found out somehow it's online and she shows up and everything, and that's how it went down. Like, why'd you have to leave, take the dress off, and then put it back on? You could have wrote it different.
I would have that's what kind of disappointed me out, because I was kind of thinking like you said, the family was gonna kind of swoop in, they got an alert, like let's cover this shit up, you know, before she makes it to a public hospital. And then I thought like they were gonna have like maybe had already picked up the sister when she woke up, and I was like, yo, you're gonna participate in this shit. We already have something hanging over your head. But no, it played out very like it was a coincidence. Circumstance. I happen to be here. I happen to be, even though we haven't talked in like 7 years. You have me as your only contact in your phone, you know?
Yeah.
And I happen to show up before the billionaires.
Right, show up before the killers show up.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, I'll forgive her for a lot of things. I'll forgive her for quite a few things. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to mention before we move on to Set Help is I loved the bit where David Cronenberg at the beginning, because that's the other thing. Like, this is for control of the world. Talk about like raising the stakes on some shit. Like, literally, it's for you are the leader of the entire world, evidently. But the way he's like, approve the ceasefire. Breaking news: ceasefire approved. Like, I loved that. I thought that was so fucking funny.
All right, I like this character. All right, get it over with. Fucking
yeah. How about that? Don't you hate when you like? Can you suffocate someone with a pillow? I think you could breathe through the fabric on the pillow. Maybe a rich person's pillow.
Yeah, they probably
10,000 thread.
Light, but yeah,
it's a little silly though. We're just gonna hold this over you and kill you. Like, why is that even a thing? It's only a thing in movies. I don't think anyone's ever been killed with a pillow.
That confused me too, just because. Okay, you had to be the oldest of your family.
And they were twins. That's why they both got to compete, because they were twins, which was some shenanigans. But all right, so a 4 from me, a 3.75 from The Missing Link. Move on to Send Help from Sam Raimi, his first like full out, flat out horror movie since Drag Me to Hell in 2009.
God damn.
I know, man. I know. Here's another one. Well, I feel like we stumbled around Radio Silence for the last one. Let's do that. Let's stumble around this one and try and figure out what all has Sam Raimi done that's horror, because he's got such a reputation for everything that he's done outside of horror. But you've got Evil Dead 1 and 2, Army of Darkness, not a horror movie, but whatever, lump it in. The Gift from the early 2000s, which a lot of bits in Send Help reminded me of The Gift for some reason, even though it's so different. Just like he has a way of like creating this weird atmosphere. Like, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. Outside of his like comedy horror shit, just like this psychedelic, weird, fucking creepy vibe that he can get with his camera movements or whatnot. But remind me of The Gift. Do you remember that one? Have you seen it?
That's the one with the fucking. That's not the one with Keanu Reeves, is it?
Yes. Yeah.
That was. I've heard not good things about that one.
Wait. No, hold on. There's multiple movies called The Gift. That's what threw me off, bro. I'm telling you, have you seen it?
Dude,
wow, it's good, isn't it? It's only a 57% on Rotten Tomato. We should fucking review it.
I'm down to cover that.
I remember I watched it a couple years ago. I thought it was really good. It's got Kate Blanchett in it, Katie Holmes, Keanu Reeves, Hilary Swank, Giovanni Ribisi,
Greg Kinnear, isn't he?
Yes, yeah, great. He was the very next one. I stopped at him because I didn't know who the fuck that was.
Mystery Man,
yeah.
The Superman dude.
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it probably evidently has its issues. It's got a lower Rotten Tomato score,
I've
but
always
worth
heard
a.
a famous
I really
story.
enjoyed it.
Keanu Reeves said that he only did that movie is because his agent like forged his signature for a contract.
Shut the fuck up! Really?
Yeah, apparently that's what he is going around saying. But I mean, I
Whatever.
haven't seen it in fucking like 25 years. 20.
Oh,
since
you
it
did
came
see
out.
it back then.
Yeah, back in the
Okay.
day. Yeah,
I could see a younger Link not enjoying it because it does take like an adult to,
my
you know
grandma
what I
was
mean?
watching it, so yeah.
Right? No, yeah. It's I don't know. It's a. I honestly I was hesitant to even bring it up because I can't even remember what the fuck it was about necessarily, but I remember
Yeah, I
thinking it
just
was
looked
really
at the
cool.
cast.
Evan
It's
loves it. That's enough for me.
like a
And Simple
ghost,
Plan.
not a ghost story, but like with a what lies beneath type of shit,
I
where
want to
it's
say like she like has visions, like
premonition. Okay,
yeah, premonitions and shit in
psychic.
it. It was cool. I would think it would be a fun one to review. Even when I
Uh,
saw it, I was
Sam,
thinking it would be
Sam
a good
Raimi would be
conversation.
a your idea with King. Like Sam Raimi would be a cool one to kind of because he's so vast, with the
Right.
type of films he's done. I mean, how many horror has he done? Back to
Well,
that.
that's what I was
So we got
saying.
Evil Dead.
I think yeah, we've got the three Evil Deads, we've got The Gift, we've got Drag Me to Hell, and we've
Dragon.
got this. I think
He's
he's
done.
only done 6 horror movies. And fuck, how many would you really call a horror movie? Like Evil Dead 1's the only one that's really trying to be scary. Drag Me to Hell has its moments. He's just a weird guy. He's a hard guy to pin down. This is
He's
something I was talking to my wife about.
yeah.
Look at the Evil Dead movies that he didn't make. The 2013 remake and Evil Dead Rise. And they didn't even fucking attempt to make them funny at all.
No humor.
You know what I mean? Because they're like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna mimic Sam Raimi's style. Good luck with that shit. You know what I mean? Like you can't really. I don't know. He's kind of a one of a kind type of guy. Like these are both horror comedies, but so different. They're both horror comedies that rely on blood splatter and shit, but it still couldn't feel like more different. I think
This
than
one,
their
I
approach.
almost don't know if you could. This one might not even really. I do qualify as horror, but this one is with some help that it could not, almost not be described as like horror
Oh
or
yeah,
I guess survival horror. But I'm thinking of shit like Darkman. Like that is
hmm
like a horror superhero to me in a way, even though it's
right.
not a horror movie. He's got horror vibes to Raimi's always got like even the Quick and the Dead. Like there's like you were saying, there's an element to him or an energy to him that permeates throughout all his
For
movies.
sure.
What
And part of it is there's the camera movement, there's signature like floating camera and the close-ups and shit like that. But there's also there's this undescribable thing that I can't like articulate that is Sam Raimi that just makes it feel fucking different. Where it's
yeah.
like, is this there's times in this one specifically, and like in Drag Me to Hell, where you're like, is this supposed to be funny? And then I'll go further with it. You're like, oh no, okay, it's definitely trying to be funny, but it's like this weird balance.
Fuck you, brother.
I love that so much. It's so fucking hilarious. I will say so. I heard nothing but good things about this one. Finally, there was a good way to watch it. Watch it looked great. By the way, it looked great. Sounded fucking phenomenal. I was really impressed. But the movie, I watched both of these with my wife. She enjoyed both of them quite a bit too. But I was wrapped up in it right off the bat. Like I was like sucked into it. For those that haven't seen it, it's another one, just like Drag Me to Hell. He must be really interested in females in the office.
The undersung, yeah.
Yeah, underappreciated people that are getting looked over, females specifically that are getting looked over in the office, and people are giving raises and promotions to their male counterparts that are less deserving. Because it's the same shit in Drag Me to Hell as this one,
Oh yeah.
right? Right,
Yeah.
same exact thing. But anyway, I was just way into it right off the bat, and I thought Rachel McAdams was fucking terrific in it. I thought she was really good at being like this frumpy, not so good looking chick with tuna on her face. And then when they get to the island, she was really good at being like super fucking hot chick on an island. That
Yeah.
was a badass. Oh
Yeah.
my, let's not spoil the twist at the end, but yeah, we will. But let me say this: like, I saw something that led me to believe that there was a twist. Like before I'd seen the movie, there was something just like, oh, don't spoil this for people, or there was some reason why I knew that there was something that could be spoiled and some sort of twist in the movie. So I was assuming that there was going to be some kind of supernatural thing in this movie the whole time. I didn't know what the twist was going to be, which I can't wait to get into. And I don't know if I don't know how I felt about what the twist is in this movie. But
I thought that there
let's
were.
save that part of it until
Oh,
after our general shit, and then we'll get into it and we'll spoil what the twist is, just for anyone that doesn't want to hear that just yet. That's the only thing really worth spoiling in the movie. But I thought it was good. The only thing I would have an issue with, maybe, and we'll talk it out, you'll help me know how I feel about it, is the ending and what they do with it, kind of the surprise element of the movie. But the survival shit, the comedy, the gore, some of the gore, like all the crazy shit, like I thought it was for the most part really, really, really solid. It showed you like Sam Raimi's still got it, like in
yeah.
100%.
That's what I kept thinking throughout. Like the whole movie was just like, okay, that's what's up. Like, you know, it's just a solid movie that shows a director that he still got the chops. You know, he still knows how to just make it an entertaining product. This is, I almost wanted to say this was like an all ages movie. Is this not at all? It's almost all ages, but definitely like a
depends on who your parents are. But yeah,
my mom would have been like, yeah, you're good.
It's fine.
Yeah. But the board scene, yeah, towards the end, it gets gnarly. So, but for the most part, like, you know, this is like PG-13, I think, and up, where it's like anybody can enjoy this. This is just a fun time about, you know, two clashing personalities, and it's something easy for everyone to get behind. Like people can find identity in either character. But yeah, it kept. I just was like, that's what's up, Sam Raimi. I'm glad you're just showing people this is how you take a simple idea and make a fucking very entertaining movie out of it.
Right. Something that could be super tropey. You almost think you know exactly how this movie is going to go.
Yeah.
And it in a way, it does go the way you think it's going to go until it doesn't at the end. But it doesn't matter. Like, it's kind of long. So entertaining. I guess maybe that would be the one thing, is it is a little bit long. Could have been a little bit shorter. But yeah, it balances the tropes nicely without being overly predictable, I would say.
I'll say that this movie was longer than, just because it's more in the recent chamber, but this movie was longer than Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, and it felt shorter. Like the pacing was just way more. I don't know. I was down for the journey with these two. You know, you don't want to rush it too much, because there's a lot. The island is like a chance for them to kind of like it. You know, it's a
right. Well, part of it is you're there for a long time.
Yeah.
So you're right.
Set in and marinate.
It's just like kind of what we said about a movie like Dawn of the Dead. It's the apocalypse. It's a little bit boring. It's got that long part in the middle where you feel that length of time. Yeah, you do feel like you're there with them for quite a fucking while. But you know one thing I really appreciate about it, talking about things that could have been more tropey than they were, was like the way that Rachel McAdams' character, Linda from accounting, which is not accounting, it's something else that she kept reminding us of. But like, even like when she goes into the office, when she finds out the other dude got the promotion, and she rushes right to the office. Oh, I need to talk to you. I need a minute of your time. Like, that's not the regular version of that character. Wouldn't necessarily do that. You know what I mean? She wasn't this super shy, like timid person. She was weird and awkward, but not shy. She was talkative and kind of not an introvert necessarily.
An extroverted social outcast. You know,
Evan's got it right here. Midway through the movie, I was like, "Is this gonna be fucking Misery?" That's a perfect double feature, by the way. Yep. Perfect double feature. You've got the winter version, and then you've got the tropical version. That's such a good double feature. Evan's saying, I think he's talking. I feel like you could group Simple Plan. I don't know Simple Plan, honestly, bro. That must be is that a Raimi movie? You know what?
Let me look it up.
Although it's really a thriller, but it's kind of has horror elements. It's kind of like a long Tales from episode of Tales from the Crypt. I'll look at what you're talking about, brother.
Oh shit, I'm fucking frozen.
Simple Plan movie, 1998. Oh, yeah, okay. Directed by Sam Raimi. It's got Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton, Bill Paxton, Bridget Fonda. God damn. I know this movie, but I can't really remember it. You'll probably know it. 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. Damn. Yeah, like I look at the cover, I'm like, oh yeah, I know that movie, but I can't really remember it off the top of my head. But anyway, overall, whoa, I didn't even realize I was by myself.
I froze and had to dip out. I was like, what's my problem? No, I feel like I have seen this, but because I remember seeing like they're I don't know if they're like robbers or some shit like that, but I just remember like Billy Bob Thornton and Bill Paxton, but I probably have it. It'd be like watching it for the first time.
Right, 100% same. Yeah. What'd you think of this overall? I think you maybe already said that.
No,
Did you already say that?
I loved it, man. I thought just to finish, I thought like fucking Rachel McAdams killed it. Dylan O'Brien killed it. I wish he's an actor. I'm glad he's fine. He had this like he's a solid actor. Watch
I don't know. I don't know.
I forget what have I seen him? The Maze Runner, Beyond the Maze Runners. I'm trying to think of what I've seen him in. He's had a lot of like bits, like he was in would make it like he was in the opening of a Mark Wahlberg movie, the voice of Bumblebee in the Bumblebee movie.
Really?
Yeah, but
yeah, Maze Runner. He was in a show, Teen Wolf.
Oh, American Assassin. I think that that had like Michael Keaton in it. That shit is a really good movie. That's where I was like, okay, he's trying to really take himself seriously. But I watched Caddo Lake. You had kept recommending that to me. I finally watched it like a month ago, and he was really good in that, man. So I'm glad he's got like this is a movie that's gonna reach. I think at least gonna expose him to a wider audience. Rachel McAdams has been good since Mean Girls. You know, she doesn't really need this hit, but it's good to see that she still has it. I caught myself thinking like just to speak on what you were mentioning earlier. She's her range is crazy in this movie. Like she seems so timid and sweet at one point, but then it's like she's making Raimi fucking faces saying "fuck you, Bella," and, you know, and it fits. It all fits and shit.
Right.
So
I thought it was almost even funnier when he said it. Fuck you, Linda. Yeah. when he's taking off. That was so funny.
I thought they were doing like a nod to Castaway at one point when he's on the raft and he's got Linda's shit, but I think it was Linda's tin. It said Linda on it. It was probably food, but I'm like, oh, you're gonna be talking to that shit like the volleyball and shit.
I love that he took her cup. He's like, fuck you, Linda, but I've got your cup. It was so funny. I thought it was hilarious, man. Yeah. I mean the dynamic between the two of them, that's what like you were always kind of like gauging where it was at. Like you could, you know what I mean? It kept shifting. Like clearly he had the upper hand when he was the boss. Then they get to the island, she gets the upper hand, and then he starts to learn things more of how to take care of himself. And you can see like, oh, the power dynamic might shift. I thought that was so cool. Before we get into like the twist and all that, do you have any favorite moment? Like how about the boar scene? Let's just start there. Like I thought that, other than the CG looking like shit, like that was like such a standout moment.
It's I don't know if man. I'm trying to like be kind about it, but twice that I've watched it, I had fun with it the second time, but I almost want to say it's like an eyesore. Like I'm curious as to
why it looks so bad.
Maybe. I don't know how they could have pulled that off. Like with the energy with the CGI boar is what they're going for. I don't know if you could have done that with a live action prop boar to really give it the visceral kinetic energy that boar was savage, bro. But you know, I still had fun with it. I really loved that scene. You know, it was almost like very anime influence. She's like hopping off the fucking tree. With
God, I love that so much, dude.
Firework. It was fun. But
that was wild. And how it just kept going.
Yes.
It kept going. My wife was like, okay, that's a little much. I'm like, it's fucking Sam Raimi.
Bro, the fucking the mucus and the blood all over her face. I was like, oh my God, bro. It's getting in her mouth. Like,
how about when she's puking all over him? Over and over
again. That was the worst scene in the movie, bro. Because he woke up and I think she was doing like, she did the CPR on him and she like puked, so his mouth still had to be open. So it's like vomit got
over and over. She does it like 3 times. There's one more moment that's the worst moment. You know what I'm thinking of? When she pretends that she's cutting his schlong off.
Yes.
That was it was kind of telegraphed in a way. Both me and my wife were like, she's not doing it. There's no way that she's doing it. And then I'm
She's
like,
not doing no.
shit, maybe she's doing it. Like when the blood squirts on his face. That was so funny though.
I was like, you know what? And I was like, maybe she does know some shit she hasn't told us. But when they were doing that scene, I was like, nah, this is a lesson. I was like, there's no way she doesn't have enough utensils. No matter how MacGyver like that bitch is, there's no way that she's got enough to perform a surgery like that without
Sew him
like,
up.
you
She's
know,
gonna
yeah,
cauterize the wound.
taking a very big risk.
Just looking through my notes here, something worth mentioning. It was Danny Elfman did the music. Would great. I thought it was real standout, super, fucking professional. Obviously from Danny. Danny, is that his name? Why do I feel like I'm saying it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There was the moment where there's a couple things to say here. Right when they get there, he's being an asshole, bossing around, and there's the montage when she leaves him. Like that montage, the music in that was just like
When
so
he's just
cool.
sitting there, yeah, no, yeah. Shout out to Danny. Man, I know they work a lot together, but one scene that the music stood out to me was when she first washes up on shore, and they do that fucking like epic sweep where it's just like keeps fucking panning back, and you see her like you just see the whole island. You see she's like a little ant figure, but the music during that made it feel like intimidating. Like, oh my god, bro, like it's a big ass island to be trapped on, even though it's in the vastness of the ocean. But yeah, shout out to Danny Elfman. I think he definitely, thinking back on it, it definitely added to the energy of this movie.
For
like,
sure. Just that vibe.
Yeah. When they had the beach scene, without saying too much.
No, fucking say it. Yeah, we'll get into spoilers in the hardcore spoiler in a couple minutes. So say what
zombie beach scene. The music really kind of set that up off rip.
For
that
sure.
You knew something was off-putting.
You can kind of tell, like right away. I'm like, there's a couple times where my wife, I'm like, the other one was like, you think she's gonna cut his dick off? And that, like, I'm like, you think it's a dream? She's like, yeah, it's probably a dream. Like, I don't know. I just like it was a fun movie to watch.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, but it's a fun one. Like, there's certain movies that, like, when you think something, the movie reacts to what you're thinking. Like, to me, that's always like the sign that the director and the writer are in complete control of the movie.
Yes.
Is when they're like toying with you. Okay, let's make them think this. Don't let them think it too much. Now take it back. Take it back. Like, he's just brilliant. He's masterful.
Yeah.
This is one bit on the writing. I didn't mind it, but like it did stand out to me. Is like, I wonder why they did it quite like this. We might have already answered it because we needed to spend more time on the island to make us feel stranded that way. But when they do that montage and they've got that's when you do the first like dynamic shift. Like, clearly she's in control. She's left him here for like 24 hours. He realizes he would die without her. Now she has the upper hand. And then like right after that, see, it's just well established. Like she's got the upper hand. And then they spend like another 15 minutes and they pretty much do the same thing. I'm having a hard time remembering like what the actual like story beats are during that bit, but there is like 15 minutes of them like, okay, let's double down. Let's make sure again that she has the upper hand. And then they have their little bit where they start to come together. You know what I mean? Which is kind of something you see in a billion movies. But I just pointed out, I thought it was a little bit weird the way it was written.
Well, every time, on the second watch, I did. That's why I was saying start noticing like the subtleties, certain. But every time she was saying that to him, it was because he was acting out or tried to underestimate her, and like so she's trying to just enforce it to him, like motherfucker, right? I am helping you here, and he kept trying. No, I respect you, but then he would do something that showed. So she. I don't know, like, it's her, like, I'm going to keep trying to verbalize it to you because it's not sinking, it's not taken with you. But no, every time, because I was like, that does stand out, like her laying out the rules for him. But it's like every time she was doing that is because he had fucked up and it was trying to like go against her. And she's like, no, that's not the power dynamic here.
He kept pushing back to a degree and she kept put his little bitch ass back in his place. The airplane crash, fucking fire.
Epic,
like as it's going down, I'm like, this is probably going to be crazy. You know what I mean? Like Sam Raimi's not going to put a plane crash in a movie without really going for it. It was great.
One of the best. Yeah, bro. Man, talk about anxiety, bro. I think you felt everybody on that plane at that moment. You're like, I feel where they're fucking latching onto that person's leg, and like, everyone's going, like Dylan O'Brien's fucking kicking, be like, get off me, this is my seat, bitch.
I love that. Give me your seat. Give me your seat. How about before the lady comes out? It's like, everybody, she's dead serious about it. Like, everybody needs to get in their seat right now and put their seatbelt on. And then the guy is like, yeah, put your seatbelt on. If you're a pussy. We go slam it off the ceiling. It's like, oh shit. I love when Rachel McAdams, like the guy's hanging out the window and she just reaches over and closes the blinds so she doesn't have to see him. Just another random thing that I like. That, again, it like kind of informs the Linda character, and it's something that sets her apart where she's not necessarily the mousy intern that would be super stereotypical. Is even before it's really went off, nothing's happened at the beach yet. When she finds out that he's alive, she's like, ah, shit. Like, I love that. I love that she's a little bummed out when he coughs. She's like, oh,
she's
fuck,
like,
it's gotta
really?
be this guy.
Everybody, yeah.
Right. Okay, so the twist, the big twist of the movie. This is the spoiler worth doing a spoiler warning for it. It turns out she's Misery. She's fucking Misery. She is, in my opinion, she's the villain in the movie. So I don't know how the way that everyone's leaving the theater. Basically, let me explain it like this. We see at one point in the movie that she can see a way to get off the island. I love the way that they tease that, where we don't see everything that she saw. And she just sees a boat, she doesn't wave to it. Kind of like some shit that goes on Yellow Jackets. I don't know if you watched that, but it reminded me of that with what's her face's character, Christina Ricci's character. But so instantly it's like, ooh, she's done the way that they kind of ratchet up her villainousness, I think is really cool, because it's like, okay, she's done something wrong, but you can kind of understand it. And I don't know, the way they just build it up is really fucking impressive. But we turned out she could have got off this island all the time. She had found a house that she's not telling the guy about, yada yada yada. And she is, in my opinion, she goes crazy. She's the villain. And the biggest thing that they miss in the movie, for me, for the way that I want the movie, I'm rambling, but okay, you get to that point in the movie, and who are you rooting for? Like, I'll stop here and ask you this. So does it get to the point in the movie where you stop rooting for her ever? Or are you always still on her side? Do you flip to him? Because I don't think it would have been more impressive to me if they really pulled that off, but by the end you're fully on his side. And I don't think they fully pulled that off. So I had no one to attach myself to the last like 15 minutes of the movie.
So the first watch, I was behind Dylan O'Brien's character, because I was like, okay, he's proved himself, he's changed, but it's like on second watch, that was a gimmick. It was an act, because every time he fucking said he respected her in this movie, he did something that negated that, and there was shit. Everything he did in this movie just showed it was just an act. He's just trying to get by. He didn't really respect her. He didn't really appreciate her. So I was behind Rachel McAdams the second time, but I don't. If she hadn't fucking iced the girlfriend and the dude, she wouldn't be such a villain. Exactly. But I still think Dylan O'Brien. That's the thing. People create monsters, and then when these monsters act out, they're like, where's this coming from? Why is this going on? If they don't take responsibility for the shit that you created, this is part of something. You got to deal with the ramifications for the shit you put out. And I felt like she took that to an extreme degree, but shit like that is real in this world. Like, there are people out here who want your opinion and they value your insight, but they're not going to publicly support you. They're not, they're going to keep you at a distance. They want to keep you they only keep you at bay, man. And that was her in this movie. She pretty much ran that company and was going to be rewarded for it by the founder. But then the dickhead son, who has had a silver spoon, growing up with a silver spoon in his mouth, comes in and is like, nah, I'm going to hire my buddy because I went to college with him. Even though you've helped this fucking company make the money that I'm sitting on, I'm going to hire my buddy, So, I don't. The first time I felt, I was like, okay, he learned the error of his ways. But in the second watch, I was like, no, fuck that, bro. It was all an act. Like she did fuck up. She is a villain, but it's like, pushed her to those. I mean, maybe she was always in her, but
because she killed her husband too. I
we
love
don't know
that.
for sure.
Well, I love
they
it. What she did was the same thing she did with the fiance. She didn't kill her husband, but she kind of like stood back, let him have the keys, knew he was drunk, gonna drive, and just let him kill himself. When they got to the cliff with the fiance, she didn't push her off instantly. She was like, "I'm just gonna let her fall off that thing that I."
But she hit the dude over the head.
So that's what I'm saying, dude.
That's what she. Yeah, that's
when she does that. She's a full villain, and
yes,
like they're both culpable. He created her. And probably people before that created her. Probably, you know what I mean? This has been a lifelong thing. But I think Sam Raimi or the writers, I don't know, he didn't write it, but them even putting in the bit where like she kind of was maybe responsible or somewhat responsible for her husband's death. It's always been there. So she's still in my opinion, she's still responsible for her actions. I look at it like this.
Oh, yeah,
you ever have someone someone or someone has someone like die in their life or something terrible happens to them, and then they're out there acting a fucking fool and being an asshole. It's like, well, you gotta understand, his brother just passed or whatever. It's like, whatever. I've had people pass and I never was fucking an asshole to anyone. Fuck that guy. I've always been on the side of that. I don't care your fucking excuse. Fuck that guy. So they're both monsters, and that's the thing. Like that, I don't think that's necessarily a negative thing. You can have a movie where they're both monsters. It never happens. How many movies do you do this? But it's just like it's weird. It's like jarring to me where I don't have anyone like at the end of the movie when she's like, I'll see whatever she says her line and she cuts away. It's like the villain got away with it in my mind, which is it's fine.
It was the role reversal though. Like, like I said, when they get to the island, he was, and outside the island, he was the boss, she was the employee. They get to the island, everything switched, where even that like entirely, like where she was probably a good person off the island and he was the dickhead, she becomes like the dickhead. Like she kind of it's there's that
power corrupts.
Yes, absolutely. There's that the Stanford experiment they did back in the day that I'm always reminded of, like, when you take them out of their roles, these structures we put in our head for civilization and shit, and just kind of put them out in the wild west, like how much of the shit holds up, how many people stand by their morals, and how people will quickly assimilate to adapt or whatever to the circumstances. But that even I don't even know if she thought she was capable of that shit, so by the end I think she's willing to embrace, like, damn, I'm not much better than him, but I am slightly better. And to a degree, he didn't kill anybody though, so it's like
at the end of the movie, I think she's worse. Like, especially, I mean, the fiance didn't do anything wrong. Kind of annoying, rich, gold digger. Maybe I don't even know if she's a gold digger, but it's almost like. But the random guy, the tour guide, the guy that was just helping her out, like she cold-bloodedly killed both these people.
Yeah, there's really no getting behind that, to be honest, because it's like, even I was gonna say she did grieve on it, but it's like, but killed him. Like I wouldn't have killed him,
So like I keep families.
She's like, they interrupted my plan. I wanted him to understand how valuable I was because he didn't understand that. And it's like, I get that, but then the deaths, everything would have been fine before she committed the murders. So she is the bad guy at the end, but who's to say? Maybe this crazy would have been kept in check had Dylan O'Brien just shown a little bit of respect and humbleness. Like
it probably would have. I mean, I would say most monsters have some kind of motive, something that happened, something that created their monster, just like the movie says. But she's still the villain in the end. Now here's what I was just thinking of. What are the other two movies? Oh, The Witch and Midsummer. This kind of fits along with those, and kind of where you've got female characters in The Witch and Midsummer. They're laughing at the camera at the end. And this, she's like looking at the camera, giving a wink and a nod. And you're left not really sure, like, is this a happy ending? Are they in a better place? This one's different because you're like, is she the villain? Like, what's she gonna do after this?
Oh,
it kind of fits with those two.
Hers was creepy because it's like she's singing the song and then she just like stops, deadpan, looks at the camera and shit, and just keeps driving. I'm like, okay. Like,
that bit, yeah. I was forgetting how it ended. I was thinking it ended when she was doing her interview, but no, they had. You know what I mean? Where they're interviewing
Right
her
before.
on the golf
Yeah.
course. Is that what she is? She becomes like a fucking
Yeah, I
golfer.
thought that was a cool transition, but it was kind of dark too because I was like, did she take up golfing because she was? Because remember she had the line about how when she killed the boar, she's like, "You ever been hunting? I think I like it." But it's like, did she take up golfing when she knocked out his eyeball out of his socket with that?
Oh, how about when she gets her eyeball
God,
gouged out? That looks so
bro,
fucking cool.
that was they got
Yeah, good point,
savage.
Evan. Reminded me of Companion at the end. Very similar to Companion.
Oh
That's
yeah,
maybe
when she's
even
driving,
better
yeah,
comparison
I
for
can't wait.
sure.
Sophie Thatcher, she was in something that I was like, oh shit, I gotta look this up, but let me check
Sophie
it.
Thatcher?
Yeah, it was something like I was like, oh, she's worked with this dude, or she's I think she's working with Nicholas, right, the director of Drive. I'm always butchering his name.
Oh, it's something coming up.
Yeah, he hasn't directed anything in like a decade, but I think she's gonna be in the star in this new movie. That has me really excited.
Dude, I saw something. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, Radio Silence is potentially the people that directed Ready or Not 1 and 2 is potentially he's working with Kyle Gallner on a project that he wrote for him to star in for their
Ooh,
next movie. I don't know the details or anything, but like that in itself is like,
that's all I
okay,
need to hear.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right. Hook me up. Let's see it. I would like
Oh,
to see that. I don't know. I was about to say I'd like to see them do something where it wasn't a comedy. Just because for some reason I feel like that wouldn't be. I don't know why, but I feel like Kyle Gallner, I don't know. I don't see him writing a comedy that would really fit them. But I would. I would like to see them do something that doesn't rely so much on comedy.
if they're teaming up with him, I can say they maybe they're going darker. I mean, I feel like I the only roles I've seen him in are kind of like beyond like darker. Like he played like the teenage pothead in like what was it, the Friday the 13th remake. Um, but everything
Wait,
like
who
he was in
was
this
in?
movie.
No, I haven't seen it, bro. I don't. I don't know. I don't really watch previews. But what is it? What's the name of the movie?
Oh, with the Kyle Gallner.
No, no, no.
Um,
He's talking about the people that did It Follows, or the guy that did It Follows has a new movie trailer
oh,
dropped today. Which we need to do that. We need to do It Follows sometime soon, soonish.
that's the
Maybe
STD
that
one,
might be
right?
a
I still
horror
haven't seen
fest
that
pick.
one.
I know that's the
I gotta check.
I have a feel for whatever reason. I have a feeling you're not gonna like it because it's been this long because it's been built up.
Fucking decade.
It's called The End of Oak Street. No, I was about to say I'll check it out, but I probably won't. That's one thing. Like running this channel, I probably should watch previews, but I don't like it, man. They just ruin. I wonder how many jokes that I enjoyed in Ready or Not 2 were in the trailer.
That's a good point. Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
This shit get
Especially
you.
with that because they've only got so much time for bits and shit, but you at the same time you have to implement these bits in the trailer to get people to want to come see said bits.
Right, right. They gotta give away as much as they can. All right, I guess I wanted before Metal Elf, you old son of a bitch. What up, brother? Can you think of any you guys in the chat too, before we get out of here, before we rate this thing? I'm trying to think of other movies that do what this movie does. You know what I mean? Like Carrie is probably the closest example that I can think of where you start out the movie, it's clearly not the villain, it's clearly the lead of the movie and someone you feel sorry for. And by the end of the movie, it's the same thing. Like, well, they created Carrie as the monster, but she's still out there fucking burning people alive, the innocent people. I'm trying to think of what other movies have done this.
I'm not condoning it, but it's like nobody handles stress the same, and like everyone's not built the same, so it's like not everyone's gonna handle stress the same. So when people lash out differently, it's like that was a breaking point. That's not, I'm not saying it's right, but it's like I say when like a situation with Carrie and Carrie's a little bit more understandable because it's like she's like a teenager. You gotta know everything's more heightened as a teenager. She just kind of was like giving into emotions. She had crazy power, lashed out extremely. This one, damn it, man. It's like I still am right behind Rachel McAdams, but it's like that clip scene, bro. It's like there could have been so many. She could have just fucking stood there and let him struggle. That would have been better off than fucking walking up and clocking the dude over the head. Like at least she could have said, "I tried to do," standing there. I don't know. What do you call that? Where it's like would that be some form of murder or manslaughter or some shit like
It's
that?
the same shit that Jerry Seinfeld went to jail for the series finale of Seinfeld, where they I don't know if you ever saw that, but that's how Seinfeld ends. They all go to jail because they witnessed someone being robbed, and they just sit there like, oh, look at him, look at this fucking guy. And it turns out that that's like there's a law called not like the Good Samaritan law or some shit like that.
Not acting on some shit.
Evan says kind of like Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange too. That's pretty good. That's a good. I mean, it's different obviously because she's not the lead in it, but they do take someone like a beloved character. But is she? I want to say in that one, she's plotting and scheming from the get go, though. She's kind of
she was
evil.
Possessed by a demon latched on to her grief and enhanced her grievances.
I'm trying to think, man. I really don't know. I mean, there's some slasher movies, like even the movie May. She's a good person. Yeah, it's kind of like that. I mean, May is to a degree because I don't think she's killing people before that movie starts. She goes on her slasher ways. Which, by the way, do not let me go through the month of May without us covering May on the show because we've never done it. We did it with Dylan back in the day. But Robbie's never seen it. Stu's never seen it. I don't know why this movie is always like, it's a movie that I think about. Evan, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Exactly. You're right. I mean, if you go back, Wanda's story in the full context of the MCU, yes, that's exactly what Wanda does. But that's a different thing. That's like this arc, like over multiple movies and shit. But just a movie like where you're the lead from the get-go and you end up the villain by the end. I'm sure they're out there, but I can't fucking think of a single one outside of Carrie and May. But even May is something different.
It's a tightrope act doing something like that, you know?
Right.
Like Thrones, Daenerys, fucking was the hero of all heroes, ended up being the worst of them all.
Right. That's a good one too. Yeah, to pull it off in one movie though is cool. Like you're right, exactly. Yeah. These are things you normally need to do over seasons or multiple movies or something to get it all in the one. It's great, man. I don't know. The more we're even talking about it, and that's the thing. I'm left at the end of the movie like, how do I feel about this? But it's still really fucking good. Like it's a really solid movie, and I don't even dislike what they did. It's just like I don't know. I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know how to process the movie when I'm watching.
Okay, so had they been saved and everything, and they went back to the real world, and the movie ended with her being, I don't know how you could have planned that out. Like she just went back to the office job, and that was that. Like
right. That's what the movie is. The pitch of this movie is, and at the end, she's gonna go crazy and keep him there on the island. Like, yeah, it's the most interesting way to do it. You're right.
Okay, and
I guess that's my biggest thing. Just to repeat myself, make me love that guy by the end of the movie. Make me fit it in enough to have him change enough through that movie.
I get what you mean.
That I'm fully on his side by the end. And when she kills him, I'm like, oh no! Like to be able to pull that off would have been a 10 out of 10.
Okay, I get what you mean. Yeah. So that's how I feel. Like
appreciate you, Jace. Appreciate you, man. We'll be back next week doing some Stephen King movie. We're doing 5 weeks of Stephen King. Spring with King, baby. So be here for it, brother. I don't even know what we're doing, but follow us on Instagram if you don't.
So I'm behind fucking Rachel McAdams being aware, but at the same time, it was more in her corner. But at the same time, I don't know if I would have been necessarily mad if he wanted to. But I get what you mean. Like I wasn't torn when she fucking went. I was you kind of had it coming, dickhead. You know?
Right, exactly. Because you're like, fuck him. You don't care about him. And if they had both died, I would have been fine with that. That's the only other way that the movie could end. Is they both die on the island.
Winners.
Yeah, no winners. But I don't know. The more I think about it, it's kind of cooler to have her survive because who knows what she's doing out there.
Okay, in this aspect, like it's like the way he acted probably contributed to people's demises. It was like, she still fucking flat out murdered somebody. That's so fucked up, man.
Right. You can't get there. Like, you can't get there. to get it to where you're going to
No,
kill
yeah.
other people, unless you're the U.S. military. then you can fucking do it. All right, yeah, let's rate this bitch. Let's rate this bad boy. Get up out of here. Anybody in the chat, if you guys have seen, send help. Let us know your rating out of 5. What say you, Missing Link? Where you at on it?
Yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 4.5, man. I just extremely solid, entertaining movie. Like, once again, I think it's to its credit where it's like you've seen this movie before, or you felt like you've seen this movie before, but it's still a fun ride through and through. And it's it's an entertaining movie with a message. So can't go wrong with that. 4 out of 5. A 4.5 out of 5.
I'm right there with you, man. 4.5 for me as well. It's a great one. I don't know. I love that Sam Raimi came out, did another banger. I hope this like makes him be like, fuck it, let me do one of these Evil Dead movies. Get out of my way. Hold my beer and watch this. Like, come on. Come back, give us one more.
They should. Weren't they doing like what? I feel like they've done a few
There's another one coming. Okay. What's that?
Haven't they done like a few exorcist movies like over the last couple of years?
Sam Raimi?
No, just in general. Like,
no,
they always got. Yeah,
they did an Exorcist Believer a couple years ago.
I think it's something different. But no, let's put Sam Raimi back on the Evil Dead franchise. I think it's time.
Yeah. Get off producing and come and fucking do some more fucking dope ass movies. All right, I'm trying to think, man. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing next week, man. Follow the show on blood.splatter.chatter on Instagram. I'll be posting what we plan on doing real soon. But I will tell you this: we're definitely doing 1408 for Spring with King. That's Link's pick. We're doing The Dead Zone for Spring with King. That is Big Stu's pick. And I'm really struggling between a bunch of them, man. Christine's what I want to do. I want to do Creep Show. I'd like to do The Shining maybe, but part of me is like, do we want to do The Shining in April? I almost want to like hang on to that for the fall season. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's a lot of bangers out there, but there's also Silver Bullet. There's like, have you seen that? I've never seen it. I've heard some things about it. There's a lot of like just smaller movies.
Werewolves. It's Werewolf, right? So
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I heard it's one of the better ones too.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to put it out. Maybe we'll just do that one for sure because we almost did it a couple times. But I don't know. I just want to steer clear because it would be like we were saying backstage. It'd be super easy to be like, we're gonna do It, Misery, fucking just The Shining, just banger after banger.
Save Shining for that. Yeah, I agree. Like save something like that. This one, maybe like, the favorites, the unsung hero films that people might not.
Secret Window was one Stu mentioned. That I think that'd be cool to do. Yeah, Johnny Depp. That's a Stephen King joint. There's so many the movies that are based off of his short stories and novellas. Because it's like you look at his novel list and it's like a lot of them have been adapted. But I was going through his adaptations, like Jesus Christ. Also, there's just so many movies or books that he's written in the past 10 years that I haven't even fucking heard of. I'm like, oh my God, he just won't stop. He can't stop, won't stop. You know what else I want to do? If we can do it during Spring with King, I think you and I should try to get together and do Black Phone 1 and 2 because Joe Hill wrote Black Phone. That's based on Joe Hill, which is the son of Stephen King. So Stephen King didn't create it, but he created the person that created it, and I think that would be. And it's so Stephen King inspired.
I want to revisit 2, man. Too.
Yeah. I want to revisit 1. I just watched 2, so I think that would be. We've been talking about that for a while, so I think I was looking for a way to fit Joe Hill into it, and I think I'm like, oh shit, I didn't realize. I probably did at the time, but I'd forgotten that Black Phone was based on his shit.
Have they done anything else based on his stuff, or is that
In the Tall Grass? He did Joe Hill and his dad. Yeah. That was them together, and I think so, but not much. Not much. I don't think so. But anyway, we will be back. We'll be back next Thursday. Spring with King. It's going to be good times. You got anything going on? On Robbie's channel this week? I know they're wrapping up March Madness.
No, Psycho. I think Psycho is. No, I'm not on those. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what he's doing though. Psycho on Monday. Yeah, the entire Psycho franchise, including the last one, including the remake, to cap off March Madness.
Gus Van Sant. I might have to check it. I've been wanting to revisit.
I have too. The remake, me too. Especially Robbie's always talking it up, which makes me want to rewatch it. Yeah, no, I know. I would love to do that. Fucking, it's a difficult time for me, but I would have loved to do the Psycho franchise review. That'd be a fun one. But all right, you guys in the chat, you guys are the shit. Come back, hang out with us next week for some Stephen King talk. Oh, there's the button. I always forget I got to press it.
That will be quite enough of that.